Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends Dedeker and Jace teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible. Guess what, everyone? We are recording this on Dedeker Winston's very birthday. Very birthday.
Her very birthday.
Very merry birthday.
It's the day of my birth. It's true. It's Virgo season.
It is.
So get ready to be hypercritical and very organized.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's amazing. And we're doing a very special episode today on your birthday. We're doing the penultimate Matthew.
Yeah, amazing.
And yeah, that's an exciting time. I've been waiting for this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gethsemane Day.
Why, Emily, do you think it is you get so excited about the death of various biblical figures?
Well, because it's some action. I gotta say, though, yes, okay, there's been a lot more action in this book and in the New Testament in general. I mean, this is the only book of the New Testament I've read, but this is the most action-packed, I think, that the Bible has been since maybe, I don't know. Since a while. Yeah, so that's really nice. I really appreciate that. I appreciate getting to have some fun times with Jesus and then tell him, get out of here. No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
Kind of like a gong show, you know? You just pull out the whole vaudeville scale, Shepherd's Crook, and just rip right off a stage left.
Exactly.
And then we get to cast a new Jesus. So yeah, we do have to recall that these are the last days of Chweddle Ejiofor Jesus.
Yeah.
So enjoy them while you got them.
Yeah. He's been a good one. He's been good, for sure. Do we have things to say about this day in terms of various...
My birthday or Jesus' death?
What else
Sure,
do you mean?
both. I mean, both. How have you felt on your 36th year so far?
Boy.
And then also, is there any trivia about today, the day of Jesus' death? Is that happening today, by the way?
I'm actually not sure. I've not read ahead.
We're creeping ever closer. Every single time we're creeping so close to it. He keeps teasing us with that.
It's going to happen.
All-consuming death. Yes.
It's going to happen. Yeah.
How have I felt on my birthday? Good. I've been trying my damnedest to have a good day despite the retrograde messing all kinds of stuff up. I had a tension headache, and then my expensive facial that I booked for myself had to get rescheduled. You know, all the first world birthday problems that one can have.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I know. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did the last year. I'd do it again.
Oh, good.
I'd go around the sun one more time, I think.
Well,
I see. Not that you would do 35 again, but just you'll do the whole, just in general.
Oh yeah, I'll do the whole continuing to live and age thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm good. I'm good for now. I want it to keep going.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Good. I'm glad.
Well, great.
It's exciting.
Looking forward to this next year then.
Jace, is there anything that you can tell us about trivia regarding Jesus?
So I'm actually thinking that we might wait a little bit more on some trivia, because if you remember a few episodes ago where I was talking about the historical Jesus and kind of what historians tend to agree on, and that one of the areas where they agree is the crucifixion. They're like, yep, we do think that happened. And so I don't want to spoil anything, so I think we'll wait till next time maybe.
Whoa, okay.
But kind of look at, what are the parts of the story that historians feel like is corroborated by other sources and that they feel like is more reliable compared to what parts are probably more Christian-focused stories that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John kind of, you know how it goes. You tell a story about that thing that happened that one time with your cousin, and each telling it gets like a little more exaggerated or whatever. So we're going to kind of see what we can learn about that.
So maybe the crucifixion happened, but it wasn't as big and intense of a death day as sometimes people in the movies. I have seen that one movie.
Which one movie?
With
Which one?
The Passion of the Christ.
Oh, that one with Jim Caviezel.
I saw it in theaters.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
I also saw it in theaters.
Yeah, I bet you did, Dedeker, because, probably your mom made you see it or something.
That's 100% accurate. Like,
see, exactly. That's what I mean. My mom was probably like, "Why did you see this?" No, it was more.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I think I saw it with my boyfriend at the time, my high school boyfriend, because I wanted to know what all the fuss was about. And it was Jim Caviezel, who now is like QAnon guy. Yeah, he's a fallen from grace. I feel like
that's so sad. I think that film was kind of like the beginning of the end.
Yeah, fallen from grace for sure. Yeah. He was so hot for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was disgusting. It was gross. It was really gross. So that's my hot take.
I have not seen the movie, so
you don't need to.
I can't wait.
Yeah, you're good.
It was for sure. For looking back on it now, I only saw it in theaters the once. For sure, religious like violence porn, like religious torture porn.
Totally,
right,
100%.
And the Christians that I was around ate it up. They loved it. My mom like bawled that throughout the entire film.
Sure.
And I remember as a teenager just being like, "Oh my God."
That's interesting because I feel like in my Christian upbringing, that like glorifying of the suffering wasn't as much part of it. Like we moved around a lot, so we went to a lot of different churches, and I remember some were more like their crucifixes in the churches were more gruesome than others.
Ew.
But like at least in my family, that was never the focus as much as I think it is for some people. Kind of like I remember as a kid in Sunday school or maybe just on my own, I don't know. I did like a little pencil drawing of Jesus on the cross, and he had spoilers. Never mind. I'm gonna save that story.
What is it? The things in the hand?
No,
and the feet.
No, everyone knows about that.
Everyone knows that part.
Is it like?
You know what? I'll save this story for later.
The pointy that went into like his abdomen.
The pointy.
Okay, yeah.
Everyone knows about that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
no, geez, I saw the movie. I know it happens.
Okay, sure. So
I just haven't read the book. Okay.
In my drawing, I had a little like soldier dude throwing a spear and hitting him in the side. And I remember that my mom was like freaked out by it a little bit and actually had me erase that part. It was in pencil. But then years later, I found this drawing that you could still see the pencil part that I drew that I had then erased. But yeah. So my family less into that gruesome aspect of it, I guess.
Yeah, what a microcosm just in that story.
Yeah.
I feel like just in that interaction of
all
like your child has drawn a picture
Yeah.
of Christ's crucifixion that you think is too graphic, even though it's based on the biblical text, and you make your child erase it. Just like that, that Polaroid of a moment.
Yeah.
And I don't pin this on like your mom's thinking. I think this is a much bigger meta level systemic type of thinking. That's wild to me.
It is. It is wild.
And so that's why we drink today.
Well, speaking of that, what are we drinking? Dedeker, what are you having on your birthday?
Oh, it's nothing exciting. It's just a little, like just a splash of vodka and a sparkling water again. The same thing I always go for because I just, I'm just trying to be kind to myself these days as far as alcohol is concerned.
Yeah. I think Jason and I went a little hard last weekend. We were all together, everyone. It was a fun time.
Yeah, you guys did. Goodness gracious.
It was a fun time.
Everyone who listens to the show doesn't know. These two are the actual drinkers of the outfit. Like, I'm not.
Well, and this is the problem, though, is that when we get together, it becomes worse. Like, generally, when we're apart, I think that
I would agree. But it's like when the two of you...
It was a celebratory weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the two of you are together, then you're like, finally, like someone who will party with me and like 5 shots
it is a little bit
in my
like
martini.
5 shots.
That is not
that
true
is not,
at all. That is...
No. We're too old for that shit. But I just mean like, we'll have like 3 drinks in a day or whatever. So, yeah.
My goodness. Yes.
Fun time. Anyways, what are you having, Jace?
So I'm actually having a gin and tonic with the leftover gin and tonic stuff from when you were here this last weekend.
I bought that. Yeah, good. I'm having I really wanted a margarita, but I also had Saint Germain And so I looked this up. It's a Parisian margarita. So it's the same stuff, but instead of the Cointreau, it's Saint Germain.
Is it a marguerite?
There you go.
Marguerite.
Mm-hmm.
Marguerite?
So it's an elderflower liqueur, and it's really nice. And then because the picture like had it look a little pretty in the color, I had some butterfly pea and I threw it in. So now that
you do.
Classic.
So it's,
you got to have
you know,
the butterfly pea in there.
as you
Yeah.
do.
yeah, so it changed the color of it. It's lovely. Okay,
Wow.
everyone, we're doing this.
Yes. Okay, great. Let's do this. So today we are continuing on with 2 more chapters of Matthew. This is the penultimate episode of Matthew. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
Wow.
So today we are reading Matthew chapters 25 and 26. As we get started, we want to remind everyone to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
You can drink along with us, or you can listen to us while you're in the car.
But please do not do both at the same time. And with that, it's Matthew 25. Right off the bat, it's some stuff. It's some stuff. Okay, here we go. Then the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 virgins who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were foolish and 5 of them were wise. Those who were foolish when they took their lamps took no oil with them, but the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. What is happening?
Yeah, okay. So,
Didn't you said something to me about Tyndale, so why don't you do that
yeah,
now?
I have 2 wonderful different versions here. So Tyndale, okay, just bear with me for this first verse of Tyndale. Then ye kingdom of heaven shall be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went to meet the bridegroom.
The bridegroom.
What I personally, my favorite part is that they toke their lamps. Like
that's fun.
Or T-O-K-E. I can
Cool.
spell. So I'm assuming by lamps he means bongs. And they're toking.
They're toking it. Yeah,
for
the
sure.
bongs, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it says 5 of them were foolish and 5 were wise. The foolish took their lampies, but took none oily with thee. Yet the wise took oily with thee in their vessels with their lampies also.
Lampies.
And then I also wanted to check the message. And his is just that he says God's kingdom is like 10 young virgins who took oil lamps and went out to greet the bridegroom. 5 were silly and 5 were smart.
Oh, so silly virgins.
The silly virgins
Silly.
took lamps, but no extra oil. The smart virgins took jars of oil to feed their lamps. So
for some context,
Saying so much. Yes,
At least-
please.
how this was explained to me, at least I never got the sense that like, oh, all these virgins are for this bridegroom, but more like they're bridesmaids, like they're part of the wedding party.
Okay. Cool.
And the fact that they're virgins is, I guess, consequential. I don't know.
Well, we can't have women who aren't virgins unless
For
they're
sure.
married.
For sure. They
Yeah,
if they're
how
not
dare.
if they're not virgins, they really shouldn't be exposed to the light of day.
No, definitely not. It's true. Now, while the bridegroom delayed, they all slumbered and slept. But at midnight there was a cry, "Behold, the bridegroom is coming. Come out to meet him."
Why is
Then
it so
all
late?
those, I don't know, what is he doing? Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. The foolish said to the wise, "Give us some of your oil, for our lamps are going out." But the wise answered, saying, "What if there isn't enough for us and you? You go rather to those who sell and buy for yourselves." While they went away to buy, the bridegroom came, and those who were ready went in with him to the marriage feast, and the door was shut. Okay, it sounds like they're, gonna get it on.
Oh, wow.
But it went to the marriage
wow.
feast.
Oh, okay. So they're gonna eat, and then the other ladies are like, they're not gonna be a part of the marriage feast. I guess that's what's happening.
All the
Okay.
the falafel's going to be cold by the time they get there.
I see.
Love falafel.
Dang.
Afterward, the other virgins also came, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered, most assuredly, I tell you, I don't know you. Okay.
Everyone is so mean in these stories. Like the allegedly smart virgins are also mean. They're like, no, we're not going to help you out. And then the bridegroom is mean.
Yeah. Watch therefore, for you don't know the day nor the hour in which the Son of Man is coming. What? Okay.
So
wait,
it's
what?
We got a similar parable last time, which is the whole like thief in the night parable. It's the idea is like the Son of Man is going to be coming on the day of judgment, and you don't know when it's going to happen. So just be ready. Just always be ready. Don't be ready.
Never stop being ready.
Being not ready. Yes.
Okay.
Wait, never stop not being not ready.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, okay. This is weird. Like, it's whatever. He's telling it, so I'm sure
this
that
is
it makes sense to him.
However, Emily, keep your eyes open because this parable is a really popular one for art, I've found.
Art?
Oh yeah, all kinds of religious art, like stained glass or paintings, or when I went to a really beautiful church in Cork
10
years ago that had really beautiful kind of like carved reliefs specifically of this story of all these silly/smart virgins. So this is a common
silly
one.
virgins.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fun. For it is like a man going into another country who called his own servants and entrusted his goods to them. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to each according to his own ability. Then he went on his journey. Immediately he who received the 5 talents went and traded with them and made another 5 talents. In a manner, he also who got the 2 gained another 2. But he who received the 1 went away and dug in the earth and hid his Lord's money. We need like a spreadsheet for this or something.
Let's get to the end of the story.
Now, after a long time, the Lord of those servants came and reconciled accounts with them. See, he who received the 5 talents came and brought another 5 talents, saying, Lord, you delivered to me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained another 5 talents beside them. His Lord said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I will set you over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. He also who got the 2 talents came and said, Lord, you delivered me to 2 talents. Behold, I have gained another 2 talents beside them. His Lord said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I will set you over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. He also who had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew that you are a hard man, reaping where you did not sow and gathering where you did not scatter. I was afraid and went away and hid your talent in the earth. Behold, you have what is yours. But his Lord answered him, you wicked and slothful servant. You knew that I reap where I didn't sow and gather where I didn't scatter. This guy is, okay, whatever. You ought therefore to have deposited my money with the bankers, and at my coming I should have received back my own with interest. Take away, therefore, the talent from him and give to him who has the 10 talents. For to everyone who has will be given, and he will have abundance, but from him who is not, even that which he has will be taken away.
Okay, I have a criticism of this.
Oh, I have so much criticism and also some personal childhood stories to unpack as well.
Really?
Okay, is that it?
Regarding this passage. There's one more verse.
Okay, one more?
Sure.
Yes.
There's more than that. There's like Son of Man coming up.
No, but for this story, there's one more verse.
Let me finish. Okay. Throw out the unprofitable servant into the outer darkness, and there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. The end.
Classic. Okay, yeah. Same thing we did to the person who didn't bring nice clothes to the wedding that he was invited to off the street that same day.
How dare you?
So, okay.
This is a weird book. This is a weird book. Okay.
I do feel like I don't remember a lot of it. Like they come back once we're reading them. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this story.
Okay.
But it does feel like as we go farther through the book of Matthew, that Jesus's parables get
wackier,
more intense. People get meaner, and they are also kind of feel like they make less sense. Like he's kind of ranting.
I kind of like that though, because Jesus is probably he's like, I'm nearing the end of my life. OMG, this is really intense. And he just gets more wacky in his tellings. Like he's not the cool, chill dude that he once was, because he doesn't have a lot to be cool and chill about. He's about to be nailed to a cross. Yikes.
He's got to really ramp up the volume on these parables.
Yeah. So in the Message Bible, he gives this parable a title, and he calls it The Story About Investment.
Yeah.
Which doubles my concerns here. Now, if this were truly a parable about...
Why don't you mansplain to us about investment? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, what is investment, Chase?
Well, what bothers me about it is that, first of all, he has these two servants that he gave more money to, who somehow found the most amazing 100% return on their investment.
That's a good point.
Got so lucky. And I'm like, where's the story where one of them invested and then loses the money?
They could have gambled it also. They didn't say how they doubled his money.
Both of them...
Right, he put it all on black and doubled his money, right?
But both of them doubled their money, right?
Yeah.
Two dudes doubled their money, and then one dude only got one more, but he still doubled his money? What happened? And then one dude just put it in the earth.
He just buried it, kind of put it in a savings account that wasn't earning interest.
Yeah.
And that's what the king was mad about in the story.
I earned a cent today on my savings account. Yay.
Okay, there you go.
Same thing.
But it's annoying that it's maybe the story could have been more compelling if the message was, I want you to take risks because that's worthwhile to try to get more. And so you have one person who doubles it, one person who invested and loses some, and Jesus is like, still, good try though, good on ya. And the person who buried it in the ground, he's like, you didn't even try, get out of here.
You can't win if you don't play.
Right, because I'm kind of like, you didn't tell him to invest it. You just gave it to him and he gave it back to you.
As a child, that always confused me because he never gives instructions to his servants. Hey, go invest this or go make this more. So as a child, I remember always being very distressed.
They just have to know.
That last servant was just no, I kept it safe, right?
It's true. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. Yeah.
My Christian elementary school had a program that they would do every single year based on this story where they would give every child
$1.
An envelope. It was either with $1 or $3. I forget which it was.
$3.
Probably $1. It was the 90s Christian school. Yeah, probably $1, but ran up to $3 for inflation.
Okay.
$3 in today's money.
Got it.
And this was the whole point of the exercise was okay, you have a week or maybe 2 weeks or something and go find a way to turn this dollar into $10,000 or something. I don't know.
What?
No, where it literally was
small child.
Where it literally and it was so ridiculous looking back on it now. It's so ridiculous because it's kind of the whole point of it was go use your dollar and I don't know, buy ingredients to make cookies and then go sell your cookies and then you've increased your dollar. But it's but your parents probably had to supplement everything else that you bought.
You can't make a cookie with $1 of ingredients. Come on.
And I know I was always so frustrated as a child because I could never partake in child commerce the way that other children can because I lived an hour away in the woods.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can't go door to door selling your candy bars and stuff.
I couldn't go door to door. I can't stand outside the local Walmart selling candy bars. My mom works in freaking law enforcement. She's not going to set out, candy bars at the office or whatever it was. So basically, I would have to I would buy cleaning supplies and then extort my grandparents to pay me to clean their house poorly as an 8-year-old. Right?
Sure.
That's a terrible story.
And that was the best that I could do.
It's a good story, but it's terrible that happened.
But I always felt so bad and so ashamed. But no one was there to point out, the deck's kind of stacked against you here, actually.
Maybe that's what we should learn from this book.
Just like capitalism.
Exactly. Most of us, the deck is stacked against us. 3 people own half of the entire economy. So whatever.
Yes. Well, because whenever we got instructions for this exercise from our teachers and stuff, it was just that. It was just like, go, do the thing. Just make more money. Make God proud and make us proud.
Make God proud by making money? What happened to Jesus, meek and mild, or whatever the heck?
It is also weird, too, that Jesus is the one telling all his disciples to sell all of their stuff and travel door to door and not own any possessions. And so,
but also 100% interest rate or whatever.
But also get 100% return on your investment. It bothers me because there's so many, like the point of the story is just so lost, I feel like. And that's what bothers me about this one. Like you could have had a cooler story where it's like the one person invests it and he like puts it all on black at the casino and wins and doubles his money. And he's like super stoked. Another person invests it and gets like 5% interest on it. And then the third person puts it in a savings account that doesn't earn any interest. And then we come back and the one who's like, I doubled it. And the king's like, how'd you do it? He's like, I put it all on black. He's like, you idiot. That was a terrible idea. And then, the one who invested it, he's like, okay, good investment. You were responsible with it. Cool. And then the one who just put it in his no interest savings account, he's like, you idiot. You should have put this in a CD or something. You knew I was going to be gone for however long. It's just like there could be ways to make the story at least a good money lesson. It's not even that. It's not a good money lesson. I don't think it's a good theology lesson. Like no parts of this lesson are good.
Yeah, well.
Anyway, sorry, Chiwetel.
We're going to continue with more lessons. Sorry, Jesus. But yikes. Are we going to hear this one again? Is it going to be better when we hear it again?
Ooh, that is a question. Maybe we'll get more details in future retellings.
Right.
Yeah, we'll find out. But when the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then he will sit on the throne of his glory. What? Okay, whatever. Before him, all the nations will be gathered, and he will separate them one from another as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on his left. All of them? Just like giant hands.
Well, no, I think I think on his right side.
It says
like hand. At his right hand. It does say on his right hand. You are correct.
Then the king will tell those on his right hand, come blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry and you gave me food to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me drink. I was a stranger and you took me in, naked and you clothed me. I was sick and you visited me. I was in prison and you came to me. Then the righteous will answer him saying, Lord, when did we see you hungry or feed you or thirsty and give you drink? A drink? That's a good question. When did we see you as a stranger and take you in or naked and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and come to you? The king will answer then, most assuredly, I tell you, in Samak. What? Inasmak. What does that say? Inasmuch?
It is much.
Inasmuch?
Is
it a
free.
word?
Inasmak.
Inasmuch.
I like it.
Oh my goodness.
I haven't eaten as much today as I should have. Okay.
Oh gosh.
Woo, this got to me real quick. Inasmuch as you did it to one of the least of these, my brothers. The word for brothers here may be also correctly translated brothers and sisters or siblings.
Oh, good. Thank God for being inclusive.
Oh, yeah. We missed this note earlier, but the virgins. The virgins. I did look up the original Greek word that was used for it. And as I expected, it was that word that also just means young woman. So I feel like the virgin part is not necessarily key to the story, although some Christians might try to make that more part of the story.
Of course.
However, may I also say that ancient definitions of who counts as a young woman sometimes would literally be like 11. And in which case I'm like, I hope you're a virgin for your sake. So
right. And these idiot 11-year-olds who don't bring oil for their lanterns. No. Their own fault. Throw them out in the street with gnashing of teeth or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so most assuredly I tell you, inasmuch as you did it to one of the least of these my brothers, you did it to me. Then he will say also to those on the left hand, depart from me, you cursed, into the eternal fire which is prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you didn't give me food to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you didn't take me in naked, and you didn't clothe me sick and in prison, and you didn't visit me. Then they will also answer saying, Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or naked or sick or in prison and didn't help you? And then he will answer them saying, most assuredly, I tell you in a smock, as you didn't do it. As you didn't do it to one of the least of these, you didn't do it to me. These will go away into eternal punishment, but the righteous into eternal life. Okay, I'm done.
Jace is destroyed.
Oh, I didn't see that coming.
We're good.
I do feel like Emily's really developing her fire and brimstone preacher voice. Like that's been a really wonderful organic development to watch unfold over the course of this show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love it.
It's just another like performance opportunity is all I'm saying.
I've been saying for a long time, at the end of this, Emily will become a preacher of some sort. And I love that we're heading there.
Woo.
At the very least,
Yeah.
You could always do the whole getting certified online to be someone who can at least marry people.
That might be fun. I think
your
my friend
online
Tina
ordination.
did that. Yeah, she's married some people.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Then I can like just say in a smock whenever I want. People will be like, what?
Exactly.
And I'll be like, it's in the Bible. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I love this future possibility. I'm so into it. I'm really, really into it.
Maybe I can make some money. No, I'm kidding. Maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Are we taking a break? I
Was
think
that,
we should.
I was that. Yeah.
I need a break after that to like regulate myself. So good.
My mom's like, you can't do all the fire and brimstone at a wedding. Like,
not with that
attitude.
Not with that attitude, Sherry. Come on now.
I'm kidding. Yeah, you're probably right though.
Oh, people will be like, oh yeah, Emily's all, she's vegan, like love and light. Like she'll do our wedding. And then she shows up and it's just all like getting thrown out into the gnashing of teeth. Like she kicks out all the wedding guests without suits on. She's like, get out.
Whoa,
get out.
Whoa, I wouldn't do that. They can wear whatever they want.
But what if we all got ordained and then we're a package deal for a DBS wedding of your very own?
That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah, okay. Hit us up, y'all, if you'd be interested.
And to be honest, Emily, I had this idea about our other podcast as well. So
wait, we're a multi-Emery wedding?
Yes.
Yeah. That's
okay.
Really
we'll do
ideas.
your polycule wedding.
Yeah. Yes.
Of course we will.
Loves it. Okay, fine. We'll get
But the DBS
that.
one will be more fun because we'll create your very own fire and brimstone sermon to go along with it.
Yeah. Based
and
on your love.
everyone will shout, Inasmoch, as you walk down the aisle.
Yes, based on your love. I love it. Wow.
Wow. Okay. Amazing. All right. We want to talk about some ways that you can help to support this show if you're enjoying this content and want to keep going, because this is just the first of many, aka 4 Gospels, and many more books to be read in this testament that is new, sort of. It was new a couple thousand years ago, but it's still new in our hearts. And if you would like to help support us to do that, the best thing you can do is tell your friends and bring them to listen to the show and check out the live shows. You can get information about the live shows at drunkbiblestudy.com/live. And if you would like to go the extra mile and truly be one of the bridegrooms.
One of us.
And one of us, you can go to patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy and become a parishioner there. And as a thank you, we have things like early releases of episodes, personal toasts on the show, Emily's drink recipes on our Patreon, and of course, you will not be kicked out of our weddings.
No, never.
All right, kids, we're back. I hope you're full of sugar plum visions of your future wedding.
Oh. Yeah.
Facilitated by us, truly. But in the meantime, we're going to move on with Matthew chapter 26. It happened when Jesus had finished all these words that he said to his disciples, "You know that after 2 days, the Passover is coming, and the Son of Man will be delivered up to be crucified." Then The chief priests, the scribes, and the elders of the people were gathered together in the court of the high priest, who was called Caiaphas. They took counsel together that they might take Jesus by deceit and kill him.
Whoa. Wait, what does that mean? What's happening?
Mm-hmm. Caiaphas.
By deceit.
The high priest?
Why is that name so familiar?
Isn't he in Jesus Christ Superstar?
I think he might be. Yeah. I'm like, he's in one of the shows, one of the movies or musicals or something.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
But they said, not during the feast, lest a riot occur among the people.
Is this the Last Supper? The thing that it's in those paintings and stuff?
I mean, we'll find out.
Well, before we get to that, what do you think the Last Supper is?
Ooh. Oh my.
I don't know, like Jesus and his disciples around a table, and then was it Michelangelo who did it? Raphael? I'm just going to name off turtles.
It was one of the turtles.
Donatello.
For sure, yeah.
Da Vinci. It was Da Vinci.
Da Vinci. That makes sense. Another turtle. But yeah, was it? So he took a picture and then painted it.
He took a picture of them all weirdly sitting on one side of a long table.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's it for sure. Cool.
Yep. Great.
Cool.
You got it.
Yeah. Got it. Thanks. Okay.
Okay, so the high priests and scribes and all the baddies are saying, okay, we got to try to kill this guy, but we shouldn't do it during Passover because people are going to get real pissed off about that.
Oh,
yeah. Because they'll all have the day off, so they'll have time to riot. We want to do it like in the middle of their workday where they can't take time off, I guess.
Yeah.
I also just want to point out that in Tyndale, he says, verse 3 is, then assembled together. So that's
cute.
Togedder, together. So like anytime someone just sort of slurs their words and says together, you want to get together later tonight and hang out? Like they're actually being very historical.
Christ-like.
And you'd be like, so Tyndale. I love it.
Now,
so Tyndale.
When Jesus was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper.
Bethany?
This is a place name, Bethany, yeah.
Okay.
In the house of Simon the leper, a woman came to him having an alabaster jar of very expensive ointment, and she poured it on his head as he sat at the table.
Is this Mary?
It does not say. It just says a woman, and she pours some oil on him.
Is she going to sing, I Don't Know How to Love Him?
Emily's so excited.
Duh. Wait, that's so soon before he dies. That's crazy. I thought that she had a moment to have a relationship with him.
We don't. First of all, we don't know. This woman is not named, or at least has not been named yet. So we don't know that it's Mary.
Can I just say this is a big spoiler, but in the book, The Da Vinci Code, Mary and Jesus had a kid.
I don't think it's a spoiler at this point, considering it's 200 years since that book and film came out.
Yeah, anyways. Cool, right?
Okay. Cool. She pours a big jar of oil on his head. Now, it's really funny because I like to think she's done this wordlessly. She just walks in and just donk it's Gatorade over his head.
Yeah, the story always jumped out to me more as is he shocked? Is he horrified that he's just had oil dumped all over him? But I guess this is nice.
But when he's
into it.
He's into it. But when his disciples saw this, they were indignant, saying, "Why this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor." But Jesus, knowing this, said to them, "Why do you trouble the woman? Because she has done a good work for me. For you always have the poor with you, but you don't always have me." Jeez.
Thanks, Jesus. Thank you for reminding us.
That's a good line, though.
That's a really good line. For in pouring this ointment on my body, she did it to prepare me for burial.
Oh.
Dark.
Whoa. Awkward.
Most assuredly, I tell you, wherever this gospel is preached in the whole world, what this woman has done will also be spoken of as a memorial of her. We're not going to give her a name, but
not yet.
But we will think that she's cool.
Maybe in a different book.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did look this up real quick, and this story does appear in all 4 of the Gospels.
Whoa. And?
So Jesus was correct when he said, all the accountings of my story will have this story in it. So, yep, we got that.
Right.
And that it seems like she is unnamed in all of them except for in John. And he's the one who calls her Mary. But we don't know.
But just Mary. We don't know which Mary.
Yeah.
Because it seems like Mary is a very common At least
It's a common name at this time, yeah.
Common enough name in the translation.
It is weird that they couldn't. It's like George R.R. Martin naming everyone the same-ish thing.
Well,
or
Sure.
yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Sure, but it's meant to be based on a historical account, right? So it's sometimes people are named the same thing,
Okay. Yeah, I guess they would have the same names. Sure. Are we gonna cast this lady? Is it gonna be the same lady? Is it gonna be
the oil lady?
Yeah, the oil lady.
That's fun if she's the same person.
She's kind of a bit part at this point, though.
I know, but she is meaningful.
But if she's in all four of them, it kind of adds up.
Yes.
To be meaningful.
I do like the image of Helena Bonham Carter just looking ragged and very Burton-esque.
Yeah. Okay.
Like a crazy lady coming in and just throwing oil right in his face.
Yeah, sure.
Like
There
Helena
it is.
Bonham Carter in Fight Club.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's who I'm imagining.
What if as she is in each different iteration of the story, she becomes less disheveled and more and more
cleans up.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And then we finally give her a name at the end, Mary. And it's oh my God, it's Mary. Magdalene.
I like that.
And then she sings
Yeah.
a song. Yes.
And then she sings, I Don't Know How to Love Him. Yeah.
Love
okay,
it.
Great.
Love
Beautiful.
it.
Okay.
Okay, we've got the whole plan.
Got it. Perfect. Okay.
Where was I? Why did he trouble this woman? Yeah. Okay. Then one of the 12, who was called Judas Iscariot,
Oh, shit.
went to the chief priests and said, "What are you willing to give me that I should deliver him to you?" Have we cast Judas yet?
Oh my God.
No, I don't think so.
I think it's time. We have to cast Judas
Yeah.
because he's going to become a key part of the story now.
So wait a minute. Did Jesus know that this was going to happen? He was yeah, and you, Judas.
Well,
Allegedly.
yeah. Has he said that yet? Or was that...
I don't know.
He hasn't. It was in the narration.
The narration earlier mentioned that Judas would betray him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. My eye just landed. I was looking through our casting list, and my eye landed on Billy D. Williams as Lando Calrissian as Judas.
Oh, I like that.
Because Lando kind of betrayed some people. He did redeem himself in the end.
Judas doesn't.
Yeah.
Doesn't he hang himself?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I worry that he's a little old for the part because all the disciples we
He's
learned were fairly
very old.
young.
Sure.
Or youngish.
Sure.
Somebody said
Gosh.
Harry Styles. That's funny. He's not going to be a
Harry,
good actor.
okay, Harry
That's actually
Styles
very good.
as Judas. All right. We're calling him in. That's too good.
Okay.
It's
too
pretty
good.
funny. It's
Okay.
pretty funny. Okay.
Thank you, Brady, in the
I
chat.
think not a good actor,
Judas
but
is
here we are.
That's fine. Judas is a big enough part that I think we could recast him between Gospels too. So
We'll see.
I think
Maybe we love Harry.
We'll see. You're right. We'll see
Maybe
how
we
he
love
does.
Harry Judas.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, what are you willing to give me that I should deliver him to you?
Damn.
They weighed out for him 30 pieces of silver. From that time, he sought opportunity to betray him.
30 pieces of silver. That was it.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean,
That's pretty bad.
Well, I don't know. He's sold all his stuff to follow Jesus. So,
I suppose it's a lot
Why did Rockin' On in the chat say 40?
because
because he was wrong.
he was
I don't know.
incorrect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoops. Okay. Got it.
Now, on the first day of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Jesus saying to him, "Where do you want us to prepare for you to eat the Passover?" He said, "Go into the city to a certain person and tell him, the teacher says, 'My time is at hand. I will keep the Passover at your house with my disciples.'"
Huh.
The disciples did as Jesus commanded them, and they prepared the Passover. That was
Okay,
easy.
This is
Yeah.
the Last Supper.
This is the Last Supper.
Yep.
Yes.
We're here.
Cool. It's pretty intense.
Now, when evening had come, he was reclining at the table with the 12 disciples. I
course he
allegedly
was.
went to the place where this happened in Jerusalem.
Whoa.
Like so many things in Jerusalem, it's like, is this where it actually happened? Or is this what in the year 300 AD, they were like, yes, this is the place. This was
Right,
cool,
yeah,
right? You know,
yeah.
so unlikely that it actually was. But it's been the place that people have said was the place for a really long time.
Cool.
So maybe that counts for something.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the historical areas in Jerusalem, I learned.
Isn't it weird that like you don't know if something actually happened? Historians are like, yeah, it happened, but you don't actually know because it was so long ago and they didn't have like phones.
Well, there's various levels of evidence,
They
right?
didn't have like phones and stuff. Oh, there are? Like what?
Well,
okay, hold on.
Wait,
Hold on.
yeah.
Are you opening up the entire topic of how do historians know anything? Is that really the question that you're asking?
Yes. No, it's fine. You don't have to answer that. I was just wondering.
Okay. I don't know. I think in this instance, it's like, okay, how would a historian actually confirm that this was the place where it happened? It's like you would have to have, I think, multiple records, multiple written records that were close to that time, that had survived until this time, and that could be confirmed that they were not faked.
Yeah.
You know, that could be confirmed that like, yeah, multiple eyewitnesses all wrote this down and wrote it down literally like a day later, not 300 years later. And we can trace this specific record that, oh yeah, it really is that old. And so it seems maybe likely this did actually happen.
Yeah.
At this place, I suppose. I'm not a historian. Yeah. I'm just guessing here.
Yeah, I know. I think I appreciate your guess. It's good.
Yeah. I do love Rutabagle in the chat saying, being the place that people said was the place is a pretty lucrative opportunity. Telling that lie and spending 5 talents on advertising would definitely be my way of making 10 talents back in the day. It's true.
There you go.
You just set up shop and you're like, I'm pretty sure this is the place. Give me a talent. And sure enough,
yeah,
it'll happen.
And they're like, ooh, ah.
You get 5 talents to start your investment. You say, this is the place. You pay 5 other people 1 talent so that they corroborate your story. And then you make millions of talents over the years of people paying to come to the place where the thing happened.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have dinner at this place.
Mm.
And then what happens? What happens was, verse 20, now, when evening had come, he was reclining at the table with the 12 disciples. As they were eating, he said, most assuredly, I tell you that one of you will betray me. They were exceedingly sorrowful, and each began to ask him, it isn't me, is it, Lord?
What? That's ridiculous. Oh my God, is it me? Is it gonna be me? And then you're like, I don't know, is it? It's funny because somebody already did betray him at this point.
Well, he's taken the money to future betray him, but hasn't done it yet.
Yeah. He's taken a down payment on betrayal.
Right.
Well, I think
he's betrayed him in his heart.
Still a betrayal. Exactly.
It's true. He hasn't acted on it yet.
Okay.
He answered, he who dipped his hand with me in the dish, the same will betray me.
Who double dipped?
I guess so.
Everyone looks at Judas. They're like,
we know he's the double dipper. The Son of Man goes, even as it is written of him. But woe to that man through whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It would be better for that man if he had not been born.
Whoa.
Oof.
Judas, who betrayed him, answered, it isn't me, is it, Rabbi?
Goodness.
He said to him, you said it.
Wow.
I don't remember that being how the exchange went down.
You said it.
You said it.
What do other people say?
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's some translations.
Okay.
So Eugene says, then Judas, already turned traitor, said, it isn't me, is it, Rabbi? Jesus said, don't play games with me, Judas.
Whoa. And everyone was like super awkward. Like,
we're just
like,
yeah. Let's see. What else do we have?
This was an intense supper.
Yeah, really. Pretty much all the other translations just say that Judas asks, it's not me, is it? Or, actually, no, here in the King James. Then Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said, Master, is it I? He said unto him, thou hast said. Like that exchange works a little better than the translation that we just read. Yeah.
You said it.
Why would Judas even pipe up? I guess if all of the disciples are like, is it me? Is it me? It's suspicious if he's like.
Then he's like, it's not me.
Is it me?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, yeah. Okay.
As they were eating, Jesus took bread, gave thanks for it, and broke it. He gave to the disciples and said, take, eat. This is my body. He took the cup, gave thanks, and gave to them, saying, all of you drink it.
Is that the
Yes.
Sorry, is that the Ark of the Covenant? Or no, wait, sorry, no, not that. The chalice of the covenant or whatever. What is it?
The Goblet of Fire.
Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Yes.
Yes.
This is.
No, I was thinking about the Last Crusade, and it's the thing that goes in the pit. Spoilers.
Yes, it is the cup of a carpenter or whatever.
Yeah.
The Holy Grail. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's the Holy Grail. Monty
Yes.
Python. Got it.
Yes.
Thank
It's
you.
Monty
We
Python.
got there. We got there. Okay.
And this is also communion, right? This is where communion comes from.
Yeah, I remember that disgusting story you told us last time of everyone drinking
from the same cup,
Yeah,
from
that
the
is-
same grail.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really though, like in the time of COVID, I don't think so.
A lot
It's
of churches
certainly-
actually did stop, but
Yes.
some who were just sort of COVID deniers kept doing it, being like, no,
Got it.
this isn't a problem.
They're like, Jesus will love us.
But also, even before COVID, they would still, I think, as maybe more people started getting freaked out about germs, they sometimes do just like a little wipe,
Ew.
But everyone knows the wipe's not enough.
Wipe is not enough. Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
all of you drink it, for this is my blood of the new covenant, which is poured out for many for the remission of sins. But I tell you that I will not drink of this fruit of the vine from now on until that day when I drink it anew with you in my Father's kingdom. When they had sung a hymn, I guess they sing a hymn.
Broke out
Okay.
into song. Yeah, that's fun.
Okay.
Now, was it a hymn or did they sing a drinking song?
Ooh,
Or
I like that idea.
That would be kind of awkward.
Maybe
Would you just do it with them, or would he be in the corner being like, shit? Awkward.
but it's unclear. Hold on. It's unclear though. It's unclear whether he has already made up his mind of like when he's gonna do it or if he's still waiting and seeing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Maybe he's still
tricky.
conflicted.
Okay.
Well, maybe someone who has more Judaism knowledge would know in this day and age at Passover, a song that you would sing, would it be very somber and solemn and serious? Or would it be,
Yeah.
Passover,
Question.
4-drink minimum, let's all drink a drinking song.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
All right. They went out to the Mount of Olives. Then Jesus said to them, all of you will be made to stumble because of me tonight. For it is written, I will strike the shepherd and the sheep of the flock will be scattered. But after I am raised up, I will go before you into Galilee. But Peter answered him, even if all will be made to stumble because of you, I will never be made to stumble.
Shut up, Peter.
Exactly. Who's playing Peter? Oh, it's Bradley Cooper, of course. Of course.
Yeah, okay.
Amazing.
Jesus said to him, most assuredly, I tell you that tonight, before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times.
Oh, I feel like I remember that.
Peter said to him, even if I must die with you, I will not deny you. All of the disciples also said likewise. Then Jesus came with them to a place called Gethsemane, Emily's favorite place, and said to his disciples, sit here while I go there and pray.
Then he sings a song to God.
Yeah. He took with him Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee and began to be sorrowful and severely troubled. Then he said to them, my soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even to death. Stay here and watch with me. He went forward a little, fell on his face and prayed, saying, my Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass away from me. Nevertheless, not what I desire, but what you desire. Emily, do you understand what?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I entered a sort of a meditative state there because this is all the stuff that gets really hammered in.
Yes.
Like we've hit the part of the story where it's like every week you might be getting this story in church. Like this is
Every week? Okay, so you know what it means, or do you not?
Well,
maybe that means we less know.
this
what it means.
show has made me question everything, right?
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, how about Jace? Maybe read a couple other translations of specifically what Jesus is saying.
Sure, with his prayer situation. Yeah. Let's see here. The Message says, my Father, if there is any way, get me out of this.
Whoa.
But please, not what I want. What do you want? And he's emphasized you in italics.
So he is.
Do what you want. If it didn't involve me dying, though, I think that'd be super cool. But like, It's up to you.
Okay, so it's really interesting. Can I just say, like, this scene is so interesting to me, and that part of Jesus Christ Superstar is so interesting because he's really, like, conflicted, and as a man, as feeling like a real life dude, knowing that he's about to, like, die a really gruesome, awful, painful death, like, that's extremely scary. It's like Shakespeare, when Cleopatra or whatever, like, reaches out at the end and doesn't want to die, even though she's applying the asp to her breast. She freaks out for a second and is like, shit, I'm about to die. And, that's really intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also
existential.
think that if you remember that throughout this, we all bring with us this idea of Jesus coming back to life. But I've not actually seen very much in what he's said that would indicate that, especially if that's not a thing we think people do normally. Where he's talked about, like, when I rise up and when I'm in heaven.
Rise up.
I could see reading that as, like, he means when I'm in heaven. Like, my soul is risen up, not that I literally will come back to life.
There was one line earlier in this book where he said that I'll be in the ground 3 days and then I'm back, bitches.
Sure, but again,
unquote.
I think we read into it the idea that means back alive as a human walking on the earth.
Sure.
Right? So, because I think that also adds a compelling piece to the story. If he is a normal dude who doesn't think he's going to come back to life, but is still, like, willing to die for this thing, like, I think it's actually a quite compelling story.
No, it is. Actually, like, this is it's showing the humanity of Jesus.
Right.
No, I remember as a child always really, it's like, this is like the only story where you feel like you can actually connect with Jesus.
Yeah,
because you're like,
sure.
I'd be scared too. I wouldn't want to do this either.
Yeah.
Great. Like, this entire book, he's been like, yeah, this is going to happen. It's going to happen. I know it's going to happen.
Whatever.
And I'm Jesus and I'm kind of untouchable until finally right at the moment. Then he's like, oh shit, this is scary. So
yeah,
I feel like I've been getting that through this whole gospel, though, as we're reading it, of like, we project so much of this invincibleness and confidence and, like, never dying immortalness onto Jesus. But I feel like his story makes a lot more sense if he's not those things. Because then it's like, yeah, he's pissed off sometimes. He's grumpy sometimes. He, kills a fig tree for no reason. He's like, more human, right? He's like this leader of this thing trying to rebel against the status quo that he thinks is corrupt, both from, like, the Roman Empire side and then also even from the Jewish side with the Pharisees thinking that they're all corrupt. I think it's this very compelling story that, I mean, this is a bold statement here. I'm going to probably get targeted by some groups for this, but, like, I almost feel like we've cheapened and made the story of Jesus less compelling by making him God.
Yeah, I would agree. Or by making it so that he has to be pure. He has to be the pure sacrifice, right? So no, he's never sinned. He can do literally he can do no wrong. He can never make a mistake.
Right. He's never sinned. He's never had weakness. He's never made mistakes.
But he's like saying a bunch of shitty shit sometimes, and that's okay because we all do.
Yeah. Poor fig trees. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Okay. He came to the disciples and found them sleeping and said to Peter, "What? Couldn't you watch with me for 1 hour?
God.
Watch and pray that you don't enter into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." I didn't realize that came from the Bible.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either.
I only ever thought about that phrase in regards to sex.
Boy.
Wow.
Goodness.
Again, a second time he went away and prayed, saying, "My Father, if this cup can't pass away from me unless I drink it, your desire be done." He came again and found them sleeping, for their eyes were heavy.
These lazy butts.
I
Yeah,
know.
really.
He left them again, went away, and prayed a third time, saying the same words. Then he came to his disciples and said to them, "Sleep on now and take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Arise, let's be going. Behold, he who betrays me is at hand." It's Jace.
Oh, wow.
Apparently Jace is playing Judas.
Wait, dang it. Apparently, goodness gracious. I like the idea that, behold, he who betrays me is at hand, and some curtains open, and there's maybe a tap dance number that Harry Styles would do.
Yeah.
There. Yeah. While he was still speaking, behold, God is still speaking. While he was still speaking, behold, Judas, one of the 12, came, and with him a great multitude with swords and clubs from the chief priests and elders of the people. Now, he who betrayed him gave them a sign, saying, "Whoever I kiss, he is the one. Seize him."
Oh.
Immediately, he came to Jesus and said, "Hail, Rabbi," and kissed him. Jesus said to him, "Friend, why are you here?" Then they came and laid hands on Jesus and took him.
Yikes.
Behold, one of those who were with Jesus stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck the servant of the high priest and struck off his ear.
Wait, like with his sword?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they were even
Whoa.
carrying swords with them. I thought they had to get rid of all of their stuff.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's also weird we don't name this person.
I believe in other tellings, it's Peter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, so you like cut off one of the priest's ears, or a servant of the priest's ear. Wow, that's cool. Then Jesus said to him, "Put your sword back into its place, for all those who take the sword shall die by the sword. Or do you think that I couldn't ask my Father, and he would even now send me more than 12 legions of angels? How then would the scriptures be fulfilled that it must be so?" So I like that it's sort of at the last minute, he's still kind of flexing a bit, being like, "Look, I could wipe you all out, but like, I'm going along with this because it's what I got to do." In that hour, Jesus said to the multitudes, "Have you come out as against a robber with swords and clubs to seize me? I sat daily in the temple teaching, and you didn't arrest me.
Good point.
But all this has happened that the scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled." I guess that was another one of those prophecies. Then all the disciples left him and fled. He totally called that.
Yeah.
Those who had taken Jesus led him away to Caiaphas the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were gathered together. But Peter followed him from a distance to the court of the high priest and entered in and sat with the officers to see the end. Now the chief priests, the elders, and the whole council sought false testimony against Jesus that they might put him to death, and they found none. Even though many false witnesses came forward, they found none. But at last, 2 false witnesses came forward and said, "This man said, 'I am able to destroy the temple of God and to build it in 3 days.'" The high priest stood up and said to him, "Have you no answer? What is this that these testify against you?" But Jesus held his peace. The high priest answered him, "I adjure you by the living God that you tell us whether you are the Christ, the Son of God." Jesus said to him, his favorite line, "You've said it."
You've said it.
"Nevertheless, I tell you, henceforth you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of power and coming on the clouds of the sky." Then the high priest tore his clothing. Wow. Then the high priest tore his clothing, saying, "He has spoken blasphemy. Why do we need any more witnesses? Behold, now you have heard his blasphemy. What do you think?" They answered, "He is worthy of death." Then they spit in his face and beat him with their fists, and some slapped him, saying, "Prophesy to us, you Christ, who hit you?" Now, Peter was sitting outside in the court, and a maid came to him saying, "Were you also with Jesus, the Galilean?" But he denied it before them all, saying, I don't know what you're talking about." When he had gone out onto the porch.
So they're like leaving him? They're all leaving him.
He doesn't want to get thrown in jail. Killed him along with him.
Dang.
When he had gone out onto the porch, someone else saw him and said to those who were there, "This man also was with Jesus of Nazareth." Again, he denied it with an oath. I don't know the man." After a while, those who stood by came and said to Peter, "Surely you are also one of them, for your speech makes you known." Then he began to curse and swear, "I don't know the man." Immediately, the rooster crowed. Peter remembered the word which Jesus had said to him, "Before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times." He went out and wept bitterly.
Oh, boy.
Dick.
Yeah.
Dang, that's pretty intense.
But he still escaped at the end, though. Like, sure, he gets to cry about it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty intense. So wait a minute, why did they kill him?
Blasphemy, I suppose.
I think blasphemy was finally the charge they got to stick. But they'd been after him for a while, right? They'd wanted him gone for a while because he keeps preaching about how corrupt they all are.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
he's not good for business, really.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like, he knocked over all of our money changing booths that we had in the temple. He keeps preaching about how we talk the talk but don't walk the walk. He makes fun of us all the time. He's way better at riddles and word games than we are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons that they don't like him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. What? John off the mic said that one of the Gospels has a random streaker around this point.
Streaker, like someone who takes off their clothes and runs through what?
I'm
the
looking
council?
forward to that.
I don't remember that at all.
Well, when we get there, we will cast that person. If that does indeed happen.
The streaker. I love that. That's amazing.
I'm so confused.
Wow. Okay. So this is quite the setup.
So Jesus is going to die and be resurrected in one episode. Got it. Okay. Here we go.
I guess so.
All going to happen.
It's a lot at the end. You know how it is with penultimate episodes and finales of shows.
Yeah.
A lot happens.
Yeah.
For sure. Pretty cool. All right. We doing this? We're ending. Thank you all for joining us for Bible study today. If you want to join the audience in our live stream shows, follow us on Twitch at Drunk Bible Study or go to drunkbiblestudy.com/live. If you want even more Drunk Bible Study, including early releases, cocktail recipes, personal toasts on the show, and more, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. If you enjoy the show, take a moment to subscribe and write us a nice review on iTunes, letting other people know what you like about it. You can also join fellow listeners in the Drunk Bible Study Fans and Fellowship Facebook group or on our Discord server at discord.drunkbiblestudy.com. Find us on Twitter, X thing, at Drunk Biblecast, on Instagram at Drunk Bible Study, or send us an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Jace Lindgren, Dedeker Winston, and me, Emily Matlack. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from their album Home of the. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.
I made a memory about your day.